Hey y'all, we are doing 30-minute rolls today. I've been busy in the kitchen. I've got ribs cooking, I've got potato salad going, I'm gonna make some baked beans, and I'm gonna do 30-minute rolls. Let's get to cooking. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I've got 1 cup of very warm water. I believe it's supposed to be about 110. I just do it out of the faucet, and as long as I can, it's like hot bath water or something, warm bath water, it's good. And I've got some yeast. This actually says it's for a bread machine, but it's all they had when I went to get it a while back. But you can use any yeast, active dry, rapid rise, and then we're gonna use some oil. So we are gonna add 1/3 cup of oil, which I have here. I'm just using vegetable oil, to the warm water. 1/4 cup of sugar. I forgot to mention that a while ago. We're gonna have 1/4 cup of sugar and 2 tablespoons of yeast. We're gonna stir this up a little bit till the sugar's dissolved, and then we're gonna let this sit maybe 8 or 10 minutes until the yeast is foamy. So we're just gonna set this aside. Y'all, have so much going on, but look, this hasn't even been the 8 minutes, and look at this foam on this. I'm gonna pour this into my mixer bowl. This is the oil, the sugar, the yeast, and the water. So now we're gonna stir in the beaten egg, 1 beaten egg. I've already got it beaten here. I'm gonna pour it in. One tablespoon of softened butter. Got it in. And 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just gonna stir all this together till it gets mixed up, and the butter should melt. Y'all, I've already made a mistake. I told you 1/4 teaspoon of salt, it's 1/2, so I'm gonna add another 1/4. There we go, I got it in. Y'all, I love White Lily not self-rising, all-purpose flour. I love self-rising too. White Lily to me is the best. So that's what I'm gonna add, 1 cup at a time. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 cup, and I just measure it. I get it as full as I can, and then just measure it with my finger. Just level it off with my finger is what I should say. I'm gonna add 1 cup to this yeast mixture. And we are gonna let this mixer do the work. We're gonna start out slow, and then we'll start beating it faster. If I did not tell you, you can do this by hand. You do not have to have a stand mixer. I have done it by hand, but this sure does make it a lot easier. I'm adding my 2nd cup of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna mix this up. I'm gonna go ahead and add my 3rd cup. It says 3 to 4 on the recipe, but you never know because of the weather how it's gonna do. You just wanna add this flour until you have a soft dough that isn't sticky. All I'm doing now is just scraping the sides down. It has come together in a soft dough, but it is still sticky. So I'm going to continue beating this 3 cups in here and see where we go from there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add a 4th cup, and that should be it. 30-minute rolls. Oops. So I'm hoping y'all can see that this has come to it's making a ball in the mixer. Now you can speed it up. And at this point, this is the kneading part. If you were doing this by hand, you would knead it for 5 minutes. If you're doing it in a mixer, like, I'm sorry, 10 minutes. And if you're doing it in a mixer like this, you would do it for 5 minutes. So that's what we're gonna do now. Okay, y'all can see it is a good, beautiful dough. It's not sticky, it's formed a ball. We're ready to take it out. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grease this pan. Remember, I have a preheated oven at 400 degrees. I'm gonna set this aside. If y'all only knew what I went through to make these videos. So, if I can't edit it out, you'll see it. So we are making just a ball, and we are gonna cut this into 18 pieces. So I'm gonna cut it in half first. Doesn't have to be exact. And I'm just gonna start cutting from here, just in pie shape until I get 18. That's about 18. We'll have to adjust to make the size of the rolls approximately the same. So I'm gonna start with one of the smaller ones. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this under and then roll it in a ball. So I'm just going to fold this under and then roll it in a ball. And put it in the pan. And do the same thing to this. Just tuck those ends under. It's really no good, perfect way to do this. Now, if I see that one is really small in here, see, I didn't even do the ends there. I will add some to it. I'll take it out and add some to it. And I do have some small ones. So I'm gonna continue this until I get them all done. Such a smooth dough, not sticky at all. I didn't add much flour to it to roll it out. Now this is a big one, so I'm probably gonna pinch some of that off and add it to another one. It's a really big one. A lot of people weigh these, not necessarily this roll recipe, but rolls in general. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put a piece of parchment paper. I fell in love with parchment paper, y'all. I don't use it like a lot of people do. And then I'm going to put a towel over this and let it sit here for probably about 10 minutes. I'll probably put it on the stove because I've got my oven on, it'll be warm. Just let it rise about 10 minutes. All right, let's see how these look after they've sat and rose for about 10 minutes. You can leave them up to 30 minutes rising before you bake them. Let's take a look at them. I'm telling you, people's gonna think y'all worked all day long. I don't know if you noticed before I put them in, they weren't touching. Now they're touching, so they've rose a little bit. I'm gonna get a brush, if I find it. Might not find it. I think I was gonna find that brush, and I've got two of them. This is about 1/8 of a cup of milk that I've left sitting out at room temperature. I'm just gonna brush the tops of these, just barely with some milk. And these will go in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. or until golden brown. Makes me hungry. Smell good. So I'm gonna get the rolls out of the oven. What y'all think? Beautiful, aren't they? Smell so good. 30-minute rolls. I'm gonna put some melted butter on them. Just gonna brush them lightly with the melted butter. So every time I make bread, somebody says, I want you to open it up. So I'm gonna open this up, and it is hot, hot, hot. But I'm gonna try to open this up for y'all. Look at that, how flaky. Oh my goodness. Needs some butter inside, don't it? Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Y'all go cook something.